session and her plans can expand. So we welcome all of you once again for today's meeting. Dr. Swendraji, as usual, will 10 minutes or 15 minutes, she will brief the last meeting's proceedings. And Karthik has come specially. We are very happy indeed that to welcome you after a long gap of 2 months. So Dr. Dhanapati, Dr. Bhovana, Hema, Kamari Selvi, and Vijay Amma. So welcome all of you. We will start off with today it is going to be a very good interactive session with after Dr. Swendraji finishes her talk, then we will take up some of the projects which we have been discussing in the last 3 months. So we will materialize that. I think Dr. Indraji will be very happy that something is definitely positively taking place. So Muttumani, we can start off with the next Dr. Swendraji. Over to you. Thank you. Be blessed by the divine.
Minutes of the 15-6 meeting. At the outset, Dr. Rangaswamy welcomed Dr. Palniswamy, Dr. Jay Prakash, and Dr. Sandhya, and told us about Dr. JP's anti-aging research conducted in England about Kaya Kalpa and his association with Maharishi. I read out the minutes of the previous meeting. Dr. Palniswamy spoke about pelvic floor anatomy and application in clinical disorders of psychosomatic nature. Indeed, a truly novel approach. His speech was short and clear. He surprised everyone by showing a pelvic bone to describe the anatomy. It was hilarious to see that he had put a mask as a hammock into the inlet to show the internal diaphragm. He described the importance of levator rami as the main muscle supported by the other muscles and the ligaments. From the outset, he showed the two triangles. The anterior one consisting of the urethral orifice in men, urethral and vaginal orifice in women, and the posterior triangle with the anal sphincter and the perineal body connecting the two. His interest was mainly the psychosomatic aspect. Everyone knows that mental stress presents as muscle tension in various parts of the body, like headache, fibromyalgia, neck pain, back pain, etc. But we have never thought it could manifest in the pelvic muscles. He said he ruled out the other medical causes in these cases and decided that many women who always complained about urinary pain, vaginal pain, vague pelvic pain, and spasm, not relieved by any treatment, had a psychosomatic etiology. So he gave mild antidepressants, sitz bath, exercises, cycling, etc. And majority of them improved well with this. 5 to 10% who did not improve were referred to the psychiatrist. So it was news to everyone. Then Dr. Abhindranath talked about the laxity of the pelvic floor muscles causing problems in bones, joints, presenting as osteoarthritis, articular dysfunction, etc. Constipation in the elderly, urinary problems, were all due to the laxity of the pelvic floor muscles. So conscious contraction in Ashwini Mudra and Bula Bandha can really help in these situations, he said. Dr. JP suggested dynamic MRI or 3D ultrasound to assess which muscles are active in Kaya Kalpa practice. He narrated his study about back pain and pelvic vein varicosity with Dr. Kausalya teaching Kaya Kalpa for 5 days a week for 3 to 6 months. Varicosity dramatically reduced by 60% and surprised the US doctors also. A study well worth replicating here. He was pained at the increase in the psychosomatic etiology, rising from 20 a few years ago to 40% now. And he has done a study on neurotransmitters. That is increased sympathetic nervous system activity, increases adrenaline and noradrenaline, increased parasympathetic nervous system activity, increases GABA and serotonin. So he correlated increased GABA to increased progesterone and increased serotonin to increased estrogen. and leading to a hormonal balance. And he said increased dopamine is very important for testosterone and muscle tone. He also suggested urinary neurotransmitter and salivary hormone evaluations. Holding up the levator ani contraction, increased mitochondrial activity, increased blood supply to the bone, which can prevent or postpone osteoporosis. Dr. Rabi expressed his views on this. I narrated my experiences of using Ashwini Mudra and Moola Bandha in my practice and in the yoga classes for natural childbirth. Dr. Dhanapati cited Dr. Mrityunjaya's research on yogic exercises. He said in Ashwini Mudra, pubococcygeus and puboerectalis muscles are acting, and in Moola Bandha, puboperinealis muscle is acting. And sphincter, all muscle contraction, increase muscle tone, strengthens muscles, and prevents leakage of semen. Dr. Karuna appreciated both Dr. Palniswamy and Dr. JP. And as a gynecologist, she said TVS, that is transvaginal ultrasound, will be a better choice for measuring muscle thickness and pelvic varicosity. And she said she'll follow it up. She asked about fissure in ano. Dr. JP said in his treatment, he gave injection of Botox locally, which relieved the pain. And then to follow with exercises will give good results. Dr. Indraji said we need strategic activism in breaking the firewall of all the powerful modern medical system. All the doctors who are making an interface in yoga, naturopathy, and alternate medicine should join and penetrate the wall with research and solid data. She always gives very solid advice to the group, and I think we should take it up. Dr. JP said it's possible only in India and we should take it up. Dr. JP was very interested in nurturing the talents of students and scholars. He asked the scholars to participate and gave advice and suggestions to each one of them. Hema Malini, whose thesis was type 2 diabetes, was advised to do the cortisol measurement, especially at 7 to 8 a.m., and then salivary cortisol 4 times a day. Aruna Gwalane explained about her challenging thesis about DR exercise and Kaya Kalpa among adolescents. Dr. JP explained the HPA axis and the HPO axis, that is hypothalamo pituitary ovarian axis, to her and encouraged her to continue taking it to the public. Santi said her thesis was Sky Yoga for hypothyroidism. Dr. JP told her about the thyroxine resistant hypothyroidism, that is T3, T4, not working at the cellular level. Again, cortisol was the reason. Cortisol also caused insulin-resistant diabetes, leptin-resistant obesity, and free radical resistance. Tamil Selvi studied working women in Hosur and the psychosocial aspect causing problems. 65% people benefited from the Sky Yoga therapy. Dr. JP suggested DHEA level estimation. As the cortisol goes up, DHEA and progesterone levels come down. Dr. Indra enlightened us about the latest view of fight or flight, changing into freeze and flow. So she also suggested taking Dr. Satyamukti from Ooty, his work on infertility, and we can take his help. Dr. Rangaswamy said he had 27 years of Anbuli, and we should dip into it to bring out the answers to many of our questions. He thanked everyone and the meeting was concluded. Valga Valamudan.
Thank you, Doctor. It was a great narrative. In fact, it is very, very now, Karthi has put a message here, chat box. Oh, I missed a great deal of last week's. Actually, I think even Dr. Perumal Ayya to know that specifically couple of, doctors who have presented in the earlier ones were all worth in, I would say in a gold treasure. And it was like that. And so we will give them, give them the recorded one.
He can get it from Dr. Muttumani.
Yeah, we will give them a recorded. Definitely we have, you will not miss it. We will send it to Dr. Perumal Ayya as well as to those Dr. Karthik, and whoever, even I think you are getting it because you are getting the narration. So you are
Yes.
wonderfully doing. I am always thanking you for.
Because sir,
Otherwise,
I'm doing it. Otherwise, just to do it from the class itself is very difficult. You can't write that fast.
you are not leaving a single point. Actually, it was a wonderful narration, and everyone recaps. 1 week gap is not at all missing. We are getting a wonderful thing, and thank you very much, Doctor. And for the information of the Doctor Karthik, as well as Dr. Perumalaya, that we have been fortunate to have Dr. Swaminathan, Krishna Swaminathan from KMCH, Raghuraj Prakash, then Alfonso, then Dr. Palniswamy. So they're such a long experience. They have been, agreed to give their valuable, not only suggestion, but also they will support us in our R&D work. So it is for us. I request our Dr. Ravindranath ji to brief how we should go about in all these projects. We welcome Dr. Karuna, and Dr. Karuna also joined us. So thank you, Karuna. Anyone else? Okay, right. Dr. Ravindranath ji, can you explain the projects, how we should go on these projects which you have identified? Because very eagerly waiting, both Dr. Indira ji and Vijay ji are asking, codify the entire suggestions which has come from each and every one of them, and wonderful PPT. Even Dr. Shanmuvel also has given excellent PPTs on this, and he unfortunately today a leave of absence is granted to Dr. Shanmuvel, who could not make it, and Dr. JP has sent a message to me that he is in operating theater. If everything okay in the last session, last few minutes he may appear. So you can explain, Dr. Ravindranath ji, about how we are proceeding so that full grip of the situation will be known to Dr. Perumalaya. Over to you.
Thank you, Randaswamy Ayya, and I welcome Dr. K. Perumal and Karthik after a long time. Welcome, Karthik. Now, these meetings are going on with a view to approach Sky Yoga research with definite terms to evolve a strategy for each and every system. Clinical research is very difficult to be carried on by non-clinical people, and we try to help the scholars with the clinical problems discussed, and also guide to evolve a strategy to study. So whichever problem we identify, we can draw a program sheet, protocol, and carry on the research. So this is the idea. We have been working for the last 3 months on Kayakalpa mainly, and of course with the other things also. Now I think we will invite Dr. K. Perumal to say he has been holding the reins of the research PhD MPhil program, and he has vast experience, and his experiences, his inferences, his the difficulties he has faced, and how he has managed, and how it is going on, and how we can interact. We both can interact in bringing, in helping, in materializing something in the sky research. So with this, let me request Dr. K. Perumal to give his talk.
Thank you,
வாழ்க
Doctor.
வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன். டாக்டர், can I?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
please
sir.
go ahead. நான் வீடியோல வாங்கன்னு சொல்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி வந்துட்டீங்க. So welcome, and we are very happy to have you here.
Thank you.
More than
thank
that,
you, thank you.
every meeting, after the meeting is over, Indraji will ask, where is our Dr. Pirmalaya? Now she is the most happiest person along with me. So
Thank
go
you,
ahead,
thank
sir.
you, thank you,
Thank you.
sir. வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன், குரு வாழ்க, குருவே துணை. Respected dignitaries, respected Dr. Abhinath, and respected Vendasamy, and all other doctors, and Dr. Sondra Devi. I'm really happy to participate in this. Dr. Rabindranath is doing wonderful service along with Rangasamy, because it's a very good thing that we are consolidating the scientific details from various experts. Actually, we want to do that. Samaji has given the basic concept, but we have to establish it through the scientific means. Unless we establish through the scientific method, the world will not believe us. Therefore, it's a very good attempt what Dr. Rabindranath has done it, and all others you are all supporting. And I came to know that Dr. Jaiprakash, Karthik from USA, they're all helping a lot. Here, we, the research scholars, just a minute, 1 minute. Just a minute, just a minute. Some other noise is coming from outside. So we, for the research scholars, actually we are encouraging the research in all the fields where we cover the exercise, kayakalpa, meditation, introspection, and biomagnetism, all the aspects we cover. And we encourage our research scholars mostly for the experimental aspects. But however, the students, they are interested in the theoretical and descriptive aspects also. So that depends upon the guides. We are also conducting the Science of Kayakalpa, a webinar on alternate Sundays, first Sunday and third Sunday. We are conducting for our research scholars. Anybody can participate, but we are making the research scholars to attend that. Actually, the last two webinars were conducted by our Dr. Sandmukh Velu, followed by the group discussion. Then the last meeting was conducted by our Dr. Sondra Devi. Actually, we gained a lot of things from the doctors. The wonderful concepts, what we explain, what we demonstrate during the Kayakalpa session, we are doing it mechanically. That is, Aswini Mutra was just brief. The day we are doing that. But the doctors, they are saying a lot of details about that, scientific details. Really, we are very much happy. And we are also collecting the data from that. And Dr. Rabindranath has done a deep research over that. And I was also discussing with him in the evening also for more than 1.5 hours discussed with him also. So this group, I feel that you are collecting the scientific data from the different corners and we will establish it. And for myself, what I want to do is, even though Samaji has given a broad field from the exercise, kayakalpa, meditation, introspection, and different aspects he has given. And here, for our webinar, for Research Scholars webinar, we have taken only the science of kayakalpa. We want to discuss only the kayakalpa for another 10 sessions or 20 sessions, because instead of going widely and covering all the topics, if we concentrate only on the particular topic, the kayakalpa, I think we can bring a lot of things from that. Already, some of the things they have been established. Some research has gone there. even the Vyasa University, Bangalore, there was one PhD in Asuni Mudra. Only the topic is Asuni Mudra. There was some PhD. Similarly, a lot of things are going different places. And our students, they also done research in the exercise and the Kayakalpa, and they have got the degrees also. Here, we want to concentrate mostly on the Kayakalpa and bring out all the details also. Before that, I will briefly give an idea what the scholars have done up to that. Then my doubts about the Kayakalpa also, I will give it here. Then we will discuss that also there. Our research wing, WCC, Vision Sky Research Center, which has been started in the year 2012, which has been approved by the Bharatiyar University as a research institute, through which some 60 MPhil candidates and 75 PhD candidates can do the research. The MPhil and PhD are part-time courses. We are unable to conduct the full-time courses. Therefore, the MPhil will be for 2 years and the PhD will be for 4 years. Right now, the scholars, they are all doing here. More than 30 scholars, they have submitted PhD, and more than some 80 scholars, they have submitted MPhil degrees also. For the past 2 years, we were unable to take the scholars. We could not have the admissions because of the university rules and regulations. And now the university wants the guides should have the qualification, MS Yoga for Human Excellence and PhD also in Yoga for Human Excellence. Earlier, what we have done is MSc in Yoga for Human Excellence. That for guides we accepted, and PhD was in different field because this is the first time we have started Yoga for Human Excellence, and we don't have PhD in Yoga for Human Excellence. So in the 2012, we got approval from the university for the guides who will be having MSc in Yoga for Human Excellence and PhD in different fields. So myself was acting as a guide. So I completed Yoga for Human Excellence MA, but my PhD is in the physics field. But I was selected as a guide. It was taken as an interdisciplinary. But some 2 years back, the university has strictly announced both the MSc and the PhD should be in the same field, but the Yoga for Human Excellence. Therefore, we are running out of the short of the guides, even though we have some 20 guides and we are unable to use them. So now some of the 30 students have completed the PhD, and we have chosen some of the students and applied for the new guideship, which has not yet been approved by the university. The university needs 5 journal papers to be published by the new guides after completion of the PhD. The students, they are doing a wonderful work, but before completion of the PhD, they do everything, they obey, and they submit the papers, everything they're doing. After completing the PhD, we are unable to find the students and get the work done. Therefore, we are not getting the students after completing the PhD with 5 new journal papers. That's why we are unable to apply for the new guideships. We got only the 2 to 3 students out of 30 students, and for them also we are waiting approval from the university. So this is the status now. That's why we were unable to go for the admission for the last 2 years, even though we have provision for 60 MPhil and 75 PhD candidates. Because of the shortage of the guideship, we were unable to go for the admission. And we are trying now, and we are also encouraging our students to submit the journal papers. Then only after that we can go for the new admission. We are trying, at least we hope that we will be getting at least 5 or 6 persons this year, and we will apply for the university and we will get them as guides, and we will continue the research. So this is the status going on, but ongoing students are here, yet to submit the PhD, yet to submit the MPhil. Students are here, and they are around about some 70 students are here, the MPhil and the PhD students. MPhil students almost they submitted, only few students are there, and PhD students are writing, and some of them they are in a position to submit the thesis, and more than 50% they are all the halfway, they are proceeding that. And here the topic allotted, that depends upon the guide also. Even though I prefer all the students to go for the experimental method, I am unable to compel the guides to come to my line. So most of the guides were from Tamil department. So Tamil department, they have completed MA or MSc in Yoga of Human Excellence, and their PhD was in Tamil. So they prefer mostly the theoretical work, descriptive analysis. In that way, their students, they make their students to work better there. But however, we are insisting on all the students to come with the experimental ideas. More than 60%, 70%, they are working with the experimental aspects, and 30% they are going for the theoretical aspect. That's comparing Swamiji with Vallalar, Swamiji with Bharadiyar, Swamiji with Einstein. In that way, the comparative studies, then the taking the village service project and how it's going on. Similarly, the other things are going on here. But experimental aspects, some about 60 to 70% is coming there. So there we have taken the exercise, all our exercises we have taken there. Particularly the breathing exercise that has been applied to the cotton industry workers in Coimbatore, and he have proved that anybody who does that, our breathing exercise alone, not all other things, just our breathing alone, particularly those who are working in the cotton industries, within 6 months, they get relief from the wheezing trouble, everything they get relief. But the thing is, they should do that breathing exercise sincerely. So that has been confirmed by 2 theses. Then similarly, the Kayakalpa, which works at all levels, works there. Some of the things I will say there, particularly for the women with menstrual problems and the women with the polycystic ovary syndrome. Dr. Santi from Aliyar, she's a Siddha doctor there. She has taken the topic, the polycystic ovary syndrome, for 30 subjects she has taken. So totally 60 is 30 for the control group, 30 for the experimental group. And she applied this Kayakalpa technique. Within 4 months, she could find very good results. In the 4 months period, and the polycystic ovary syndrome, the scan was taken before and after that, and almost the syndrome was completely avoided within the 4 months. It has gone out. It was a very good result we got it from there. Similarly, Dr. Rajasekhar, Siddha doctor, he has taken the diabetic mellitus cases. But already, because we are running the diabetics camp here, more than 40 camps after the Ravidranath running that. So that samples were taken by him. And he confirmed that by doing our exercise along with the Kayakalpa, that diabetic mellitus can be and similarly, the meditation aspects, the different types of meditations were taken by the different people, and they analyzed the biomagnetism, the aura, the strength of the 7 centers in the body, and everything there. Finally, we have concluded that anybody who does meditation regularly, they enjoy all the benefits. The chakras are rightly oriented, and their aura is found to be very good. So in that way, all the results are coming positively. So we have proof for each everything. For exercise, we also for research, we don't want to take all the exercises. The exercise which are much needed for particular aim, and we will concentrate on the all the experimental cases. Minimum some 60 samples will be taken, minimum. 30 will be for the experimental and 30 will be for the control group. In some of the things, they have 3 groups also. 3 groups means, and 2 groups will be for experimental, 1 group will be for the control group. So I think the Aruna Glani, my student is there. She is doing with the deer exercise. We are getting wonderful results. Kayakalpa with the deer exercise and the deer exercise alone in that way. So 3 groups. 1 is the control group and 2 other expert group. So the Kayakalpa is giving a very good result for the women with the menstrual problems, and Kayakalpa plus the deer exercise. I think so that part in that way that he gives a result better than this one. So in a research, we do that. Whatever may be, we found the hypothesis, we do the research. Final result may be positive or negative. Whatever comes, we will put it there. So when the Aruna Glani was doing the research, so the Kayakalpa itself, it does wonders. Along with the Kayakalpa, if DRX is added, it does much more benefits. So these are all the recorded and proved, and yet to prove a lot of things. I think Samuji's philosophy and Samuji's practice, I think we can have more than 1,000 PhDs under that. Such a wonderful concept Samuji is given. Exercise itself, we can do a lot. Then Kayakalpa is a wonderful field, it's a wide field, we can apply to different categories. That Sandhi has applied that for polycystic PCOS syndrome. Actually, that can be applied for different diseases. Even now, we are all much worried about that. The corona, yes, why we are worried? The immunity problem. What are the ways to improve? Yes, there are different ways. As the doctors, we all will be giving. And this is the time I want to convey my feelings also. Most of our professors, they're all doing our yoga, but they don't believe the scientific methods. Now the corona vaccination has come to our rescue. I take this opportunity to advise all the people to have the vaccination, because it is a scientific means. We can say that is the only alternative now to save the people. If all over the world, all the people are vaccinated, surely the corona will go. Just the phone call interruption. So taking the vaccination, keeping social distancing, sanitation, wearing the mask, everything, and all of the things, if we do our Kayakalpa and the exercise, I think 10% we are safe, we can say that. So let us follow all the instructions given by the government, given by the medical persons. And above that, if we do the exercise and the Kayakalpa, and you are 10% safe, I can say that. Because the Kayakalpa does wonders. It improves the immunity level. And so I think we can do a lot of research, even with the corona patients, if possible, we can do it. But now, because the government will not allow our research to in the corona centers, we are not in a position to have it there. But if it is done with the corona patients, I think surely we will be getting very good positive results. If anybody now listening here, as a doctors or as scholars, if you are prepared to do with the corona patients, the Kayakalpa alone, if you do that, I think there will be we'll be getting very positive results. Okay, Alec. So this is the way now the research is going on there. Some 30 to 40 people are waiting to submit the thesis. It's going on there. So next, what we can do is, with all your help and with Dr. Ravindranath's guidance, I think we can allot some scholars for the particular specific one. However, by this September, there is another batch of admission is there. By the time, if we could get the guideship approval, I think we can take some scholars. We can allot the topics. If you suggest, if this group suggests, and we can allot some topics to our scholars and work on it. And the topic may be chosen from the Kayakalpa or from the meditation or from the exercise. So these are the basic components: exercise, Kayakalpa, and meditation. Then we can add the introspection also later on if they are needed. And for students, school and the college students, we have given the entire Sky Yoga, that is exercise, Kayakalpa, meditation, entire thing. And we have got a very good positive result from their academic performance, their memory power, the retention capacity, that adjustment with the management, then their behavior pattern with the parents and the elders, everything that improved that. I think our Sky Yoga, it does some magic work. Anybody who does, they enjoy the benefits. It's not a magic we can say. Anybody who does, they enjoy the benefits. But, but the thing is, the large number of people, they learn the Sky Yoga, but only a few people, they do it regularly. So this is the sad news. All the people are not doing. Even our own professors, even though we count them as 16,000 professors as numbers, I'm not sure all the people are doing our exercise style for regular. We have taken a study and finally found that most of the professors, they do the meditation only once in a day. Most of the professors. Some of them, they don't do the meditation even for once in a day also. So most of the professors, even though we say that Kayakalpa is a must, exercise is a must, and the meditation is to do twice in a day, morning and evening, minimum. Maximum, they can do 5 times or 6 times. Even they can observe Maunam throughout the day. So that we are suggesting. But when it comes to reality, I think the people are not doing it continuously. So only those who are doing our exercise, Kayakalpa, and meditation, they alone enjoy all the benefits. Now we could find even our own professors, because of the corona, they have been affected and they passed away. So this is very sad to hear that. There may be so many reasons, because already they might have had so many problems, maybe there. But all our members are not doing our practices regularly. Even every year we admit some more than 3 lakh people to our system. But how many are doing it sincerely? Very, very low percentage. So we should find a method that all our the inmates, all our people joining here in Sky Yoga, they should do it throughout their life. They should not miss even a day. So every year some 3 lakh people are joining. If all the 3 lakh people, they should do it till the end of life. That's one thing. Then another thing, we should spread this Sky Yoga to all over the world. This is the right time for us to spread this Sky Yoga. Because all the people are afraid of corona. They want to come out on any means. Whatever the method you suggest, whatever the medicine you give, whatever the yoga you give, whatever other systems you recommend, they're ready to follow it. Now this is the right time for us to spread the Sky Yoga all over the world. Only with that purpose, we started online education also. So through which we conduct now the foundation course, the certificate course, which consists of the introspection 1, 2, 3, and the Brahmanyanam. So through which we are conducting, but it is not up to our expectations going on. We thought that every month, it's a minimum of 1,000 people we can admit, but we find it hard even to have the 300 or 400 now. Now the corona period, the more number is coming there. Then in the regular period, even we were unable to get some 100 people in the courses. So, however, we should spread this Sky Yoga to all the people all over the world. For which first we should make all the people who join here to practice regularly, sincerely, and continuously. Then only they will enjoy the benefits and they will become the source for the new admissions. If the people, they are not doing that regularly, then they will not encourage other people to join them. So in such a way, it is going on there. But I am sure Samuji has given a wonderful concept, wonderful technique, a combined, a combo. We can say that with all the benefits he has given them. But it is our duty to spread that all over the world. I think this is a very good opportunity. And we have some experts. Dr. Sundara Devi is giving wonderful ideas. She has been with us for a very long time. From the Swamiji's period, she is here. And wonderful ideas he is giving. Dr. Sanmugavelu, I think basically from as a doctor, he has a wide experiences. And Dr. Rabindranath, for a very long time, he is much involved in the research project, and he tries to coordinate even the university professors along this one, and he is doing that wonderful job. Similarly, I'm happy to know that Dr. Jayaprakash from USA and Karthik from USA, they are also contributing a lot, and we can consolidate all the other doctors and the experts in the field. And as head of this research wing, I am ready to go along with you, and we can allot all the scholars in which the topic we may choose, and we may allot the topic to the scholars, but we will be getting scholars only by the end of the year, not now, because already the existing scholars are working on different subjects, and they have to complete with this. The only thing is we can allot any topic to our scholars. I'm ready to go along with you, but they should complete the thesis and they should submit and get the degree within 4 years. That we would see. Suppose we are allotting a topic and they are continuing for 5 years, 6 years, 10 years means, then they will be also not interested, and we will be losing the chance of another admission. Unless one completes the PhD, we cannot admit another person in his place. He has to complete, he should go out. Then only we can admit another person in that place. Therefore, we can allot any topic to our future scholars, but we should see that they are completing that within the 4 years period. So in that way, for all the PhD scholars, we have some 2 doctoral meetings. First doctoral meeting will be there after completion of the basic written test. So every scholar, first they would write 3 papers in the first year, and they have to pass 3. Then only they become eligible for the next progress. So a doctoral committee will be there after completing their written examination. First doctoral committee, in which they will confirm the topic. They will choose the topic that they'll confirm, that should be informed to the university. Once they confirm the topic, then they should not change the topic. For all the 3 years, they have to go along with the topic. So when we take the new admissions here, before we allot the topic, and we can discuss and we can give the topic to them. So the first year itself, we can allot the topic. Then all the remaining 3 years, they have to go only the topic. They could not change the topic. And so therefore, if anybody suggests that, and you're free to suggest the topic, after that also, you please coordinate with that particular candidate. We will make the candidate to talk to you, to contact you, to associate with you frequently. And we will see that he is working on the topic and he is completing the thesis within that 4 years. And from our office, we will support, by all means, we will support them. But within 4 years, they have to complete the thesis. Then only they will also get a degree. They will go for some other employments or anything, they will go there. And also we will be also, our work will be over and we can have fresh admission or new admission. If they are not completing the thesis, then we cannot have fresh admission. Somebody, for our experience, somebody joined the 2012, they have not yet completed till. So the admission, in that place, we cannot admission. We cannot go for a new admission. So therefore, we can give any topic to any scholars with all your guidance and suggestions, but we should see that they are completing that work within the stipulated period. So this is thing I want to say it. And Kayakalpa, we have 3 webinars we have completed, and I was also discussing some of the things with our Dr. Rabindranath also. So some of the things I want to discuss, I will say a few questions I have prepared. I will say it here in the group, and those who are interested, I think you can later on post your answer. Some of the things I want to say here in the elite audience. What do you mean by sexual vital fluid? What are all the contents in the sexual vital fluid? Then another thing, what is Voges? How we can explain that in a scientific means? Then coming to the Asuni Mudra and the Mola Bandham, and what should be the way in which it should be done in the right position? Generally, we say Asuni Mudra, contracting the list Dallas muscles, contracting for more time and releasing with the less time. We say that. Is it correct or it should be equal? Then coming to that, the male and female while doing the Kayakalpa, particularly in the morning third posture, there are some differences. Why the difference is kept in that way? Then we have fixed the age 14. We have fixed the age 14 for doing the Kayakalpa and the meditation. And what scientific reasons can be attributed? Why you are fixing the age? Generally, we say that only after the physical maturity comes there, the sexual vital fluid from the brain, it comes to the genetic center. And that's why we are fixing that age. Generally, we say that. So how by scientific means we can complement it? Then in Tamil, when we say that, பிறப்பும் இறப்பும் வித்து கழிவினால்தான் மகரிஷி சொன்ன வார்த்தை. நம்ம பிறக்கிறதும் வித்து கழிவினால்தான், இறக்கிறதும் வித்து கழிவினால்தான். பிறக்கிறத நம்ம நல்லா தெரியுது, தாய் தந்தை 2 பேர் கூடிதான் பிறக்கணும். அது மாதிரி இறக்கும் போதும் முழுசா அந்த வித்து கழிஞ்ச பின்னாடிதான் இறந்து போகுதான். அதை டாக்டருங்கிற முறையில நீங்க எத்தனையோ போஸ்ட்மார்ட்டம் பண்ணிருப்பீங்க. அது நம்ம that has to be confirmed. அப்புறம் இந்த sexual vital fluid and what are the sources of secretion, அதோட லைஃப் எவ்வளவு, what are the contents, அதெல்லாம் கூட நம்ம we can have a research. Then we say there are some 7 minerals, 7 தாதுக்கள் சொல்றோம். ரசம், ரத்தம், சதை, கொழுப்பு, எலும்பு, மஜ்ஜை, சுக்கிலம். So we say that 7 thadus are coming there. Once the food is digested, the final will be the sexual vital fluid. And there are some concepts. The sexual vital fluid is a source for generation of the waters. And there are another conception that it gets the energy particle from outside and stores inside. Just like a battery, which will be having an acid. When you charge it, it will store more electrons and discharge, and it will leave the electrons. So is it like that, the sexual vital fluid? Or the sexual vital fluid is the source of the life force production? Or you mean the life force and the Voges are one and the same? Or is there any differences? For youth, in what way the Kayakalpa is helpful? Because we advise that any youth, particularly the teenage, if they do the Kayakalpa regularly, the unwanted sexual craving will come down, and that energy will be channelized, and the brain activity increases, the memory power increases, academic performance increases. These all things we have proved through the experimental method analysis, but scientific means and how we can attribute it. Then the Kayakalpa, in what are all the ways it helps to reduce the menstrual problems of the women. Already some research have been done, but we can do a lot of research over there. Then the sexual vital fluid for all the living beings, it is common. But for human, we are discussing now whether it is the same case for all the animals also. The human being, they waste the vital fluid in unwanted thing. And whether what happens in the animal beings. But generally, the animal beings, they go along with the nature. They don't waste. So how we can appreciate the animals in that way? And what is the thing we have to follow from the animals here about this wasting the sexual white fluid? Then after the age of 40 years, generally the production of the sexual white fluid that comes down. And for the jnanis and the bahas, generally they say, if they maintain that brahmacharya for more than 10 years, then they achieve a lot of power, a divine power, and that helps them to go for the realization. Is it right? Or the 10 years or 15 years, and what happens to the body level, how the sexual white fluid that helps them to get the realization? Then another thing, in some of our ashrams, we can find that the small children, they will be chosen as the head of the ashram, and even from the age of 7 or 8, and they will be given all the training, and they will not go for a family life or a married life, and they will remain as a bachelor. And how they tolerate and how they avoid the youth feeling coming there, and whether the Kayakalpa will be very much helpful to them, so that we can analyze. But I am sure, so those who are perfectly following the rituals, and also they are not thinking about any the unwanted sexual imaginations, surely they are that the realization will be very fast, maybe there. Then the coming to the sexual vital fluid and the sperm or the ovum, almost all the imprints are there in the ovum and the sperm. Whether the same imprints are there in the vital fluid also, or only the sperm or the ovum consists of all the imprints, which is responsible for having a baby with all the good qualities or bad qualities, shape, size, everything there. Whether some of the imprints are there in the vital fluid, or only the sperm of the ovum, they consist of all the imprints. So these are all the things I have pointed out. So this is openly given here for all the audience. You can have it. Those who are interested, you can work on it, and we will bring a nice output from all the experts. Actually, either we all can do it, or our research, what we want is, finally, we want to have a book or a thesis by 200, 300 pages, which gives all the idea of the experts. So there are Devi, Dr. Ravindranath, Dr. Sanmugavelu from Osur, and even from Jaiprakash, all the experts' ideas will have it, 2 pages, 3 pages, or 5 pages, then followed by the questions and the answers from the experts. That also, so more totally, it may consist of some 200, 300 pages. That will give all the details about the, particularly for the Kayakalpa. So anybody who reads the book, particularly our professors or our members, if they read the book, then they should be fully aware of all the techniques of the Kayakalpa. And if they are aware of that, surely they will do that practice sincerely. So these are the things I want to convey to the meeting. I'm happy that Ravindranath is doing wonderful service along with the coordinators of the experts, and Rangasamy from Osur is coordinating this very nicely, and Dr. Sanmugavelu and Sundara Devi, their contribution is very large, very large. So I appreciate the efforts of all the people, and also I thank the Dr. Gupta from USA. We prepared a paper, and we thought of submitting their journals, and now we are submitting them from here India side. I think the purpose is going on there. Soon we will be getting it published. That's I will discuss with the Gupta later on that. We want to bring everything in journals. We can discuss anything here, but we should find the data. We should have the proofs, and with proper data, it should be published in journals. Right now, through our MPhil and PhD candidates, we have some 200 papers published in different journals. They have them the proper index. And if the paper number goes on more than 1,000, surely all over the world, the people will be knowing about our sky yoga. For which we compel our PhD scholars, before they submit the thesis, they should publish minimum 5 papers in standard journals. For MPhil scholars, 2 journals, two papers in the journals. Similarly, we have collected some 200 papers right now, and I'm sure within another 3 years or 4 years, we will be crossing 1,000 papers in the standard journals. When we reach 1,000 papers, surely all over the world, all the scientists will come to understand what is sky yoga, what is physical exercise, what is kayakalpa, what is meditation, and what is Vedatriyam. Everything will be known to all the people, particularly the science community. They will know all the details about that. So this is the thing I want to do. And with all your cooperation, I think we can do wonders. Somebody has given a lot of things. Even every poem leads to one PhD. Such a way, more than 1,000 PhDs can be done with this concept and the philosophy. So I think with all your help, we will collect the scientific data and we will spread it to the entire world, and we will make Swamiji's philosophy to be accepted by all the science, particularly the science people, later on by all the common public also. So thank you very much for the doctor giving me an opportunity to share some of my views here in the meeting. Thank
you, Dr. Perumalaiah. You have given a wonderful status of the entire, as of today, you have explained to us how many scholars, how many of them are doing MPhil, and everything you have given us. And we will also tell you in the last, based on the success of this Consciousness 360 program in English, Muthumalai has been having a list of at least 50 doctors. You will be surprised that we have been contacting one after another, both of us, virtually. It is like, unifying and uniting all these people who are in India as well as in abroad, overseas doctors and Nimmons doctors, especially, one of the session, Dr. Malaya Bhaskara said, you give me one full day. I am a HOD in neurosurgery. So I want one full day to be spent on this Kayakalpa and all that. Dr. Ravindranath, with the help of our Dr. Dhanapati, we have already captured the fort of Nimmons. There are 8 to 10 areas of the department with the voluminous data is available for the research scholars. And I know pretty well each of them. Many times he has taken me, and each of the doctors are offering their services. And other than that, Dr. Shanmavelu, Dr. Swendra Devi is doing a wonderful job of, critically looking, and from their vast experience, they are able to guide. You will be surprised. Our Aruna and Tamara Selvi and also Shanti and many of the scholars are regularly attending, and they are getting insight to. In addition to that, they have presented the specific assignments given, and on that, our doctors have given their suggestions. So, in other words, it is Dr. Shakti has given wonderful, feedback along with our Karthi and Vijay Gupta, and of course, they are the first persons. Both of them will come. They will come 10-15 minutes earlier also for the meeting, and they have been repeatedly telling, we must collate all the information, codify every of them, and then put this research team on the job so that the evidence, the proof, the scientific philosophies can be taken throughout the world. And that is what they have been insisting on. And scientists like Mahabali Rajan from Calcutta, he is there, he's a scientist, he has been sharing a lot of information. And of course, Dr. Dhanapati is quietly, giving a fantastic feedback along with Dr. Dharana. The great feedback has come from Dr. Jayaprakash. He has been, when I don't know whether you are aware of, when our Arul Selvar NM has visited along with our Guruji, he was introduced to our Dr. Jayaprakash was a young doctor from Satur, and he was introduced, and casually our Guruji asked him, in which area you are doing research? He said, age management. Oh, then you sit down. Then and there, he has written handwritten notes about Kayakalpa and handed over for a lifelong, you do this. And he has been very successful, and lot of evidence he has created. In fact, he has got an instrument called metabolic changes instrument, which last time he mentioned. I am now not using. I will gift it to you. It is already in Indian Institute of Science, Indian Institute of Technology in Chennai. When he next time visits, I think it will reach R&D. Then before Kayakalpa, after Kayakalpa, this metabolic changes printing, you can print the status of their heart and lungs and everything can be presented to them. And this is how our Jayaprakash has told also many things about very easy way of measure this saliva. Especially he has been telling also skin resistant changes, because he said all the food what we take, this entire skin, ஏன்னா மேனியும் சிவந்திடம் சிவவாக்கியர் சொல்றாருல்ல, அந்த மேனி சிவக்கிறத நாம பாத்திரலாம் ஐயா அப்படின்னாரு ஒரு தடவை. Skin resistant changes can be measured. And regularly A.V. Srinivasan has come, and Dr. Santanakrishnan has been attending our, in addition to this last 5 weeks, Dr. Krishnan Swaminathan from KMCH, Raghuraj Prakash, Dr. If you see Dr. Palliswamy, if I go on, I will take more time reading their names, but they have been actively participating. They have got wonderful research data with them to give it to us. And with all that, we can combine and make a scientific conference for the whole world to know that Kayakalpa will save the world. In fact, what in one of the meetings, I think Muthumani has suggested, I think, our own, in English as well as in Tamil, Maharishi has written many articles about this SVF. In fact, one of the sessions why our Karthik Andal has suggested this sexual word is can be changed to biovital field if necessary. All this it is their opinion. So like this, where there is a difficulty, and they have been expressing, if in states, if you say sex, there is a taboo, I call that. And it is like that, what changes are required. In one of the meetings, our Dr. Jayaprakash said, you see, this 14 and above 14, he finds in the latest research data available, even we can think of, provided we all agree, the entire team, research team agrees that 1 year can be reduced to these girls who should be taught at the age of 13 itself. But then that sort of a suggestion is a research paper has to be presented. Then World Community Service Center, we have to take a concurrence from all of you. Then only all such changes. But these are the areas, many such suggestions have come. We have all the data. In fact, so far, whatever we have collected in all these wonderful meetings, as guided by our Dr. Ravindranath ji, we can take out all the points. One by one. Many research topics related to Kayakalpa are readily can be codified, and then we can benefit from the experience of all these eminent doctors and scientists who are regularly attending. So thank you once again, Dr. Perumal. I think we will all unite and a unified force. That is what will save the mankind. According to Maharishi's first word, when I read this 1966 edition of Anboli, he has written on the left side page, unified force will save the mankind. So we are united, and our approach should be to see to it that these scientific philosophies are proved to the entire world. Otherwise, we are giving verbatim, Mudumai Talli Podalam, like this, if you go on tell, and then the time taken these days in Kayakalpa exercises also should be taken, whether 2 hours is sufficient. No, it is not. You all know that it is a very, very, point of discussion. In some of the mandrams and mandalams, they are conducting 1 hour. How is this possible for the new people? Hundreds of people are attending, and how it is possible? And all these corrections will have to take place. And we must make sure that these are all published data available, as our Dr. Indra Gupta ji always tells. We have to record them. We have to make sure that this is the benefit goes to the mass. So Ravindranath ji, we will seek suggestions from all the participants today, and please one by one come along and help us out. Thank you. Over to Ravindranath ji.
Thank you. I appreciate the cooperation and the footwork being done by Rangaswamy and Muthumani team. Let me have the ideas from Muthumani regarding the work he has done so far in collecting the data. Muthumani, please.
Doctor, we have so far, after the conference, doctors conference, we find potentially we can make a very strong team of at least minimum 50 doctors who are independently doing a lot of research on these areas.
Yes,
So,
yes. So
you
that
have
is
given this
interesting.
platform, you have given this, the stage for us. And I think it is a wonderful thing. This platform is available for these doctors to share freely these experiences with us, and they are very happy. So far, what we have seen, each of the doctor you have identified, and they are really very happy to work with us, and they are voluntarily offering. Once I thought this KMCH will not allow us inside, whereas Swaminathan said, come along, man, I will give you 50 patients. You can do whatever exercises you want to give and then observe all of them. So this is a way these doctors who have come enjoyed these sessions and offering their services. So this is a very good opportunity we should make use of. And what's required is we have to make sure that those scholars who have already submitted, whoever it is, please share, Dr. Perumalji, your list of these. We have to wake them up wherever they are and make sure that they take interest in joining this, because they will also enjoy. We can ask today, these scholars who are here, Aruna, Kamare Selvi, and all that, you can give a feedback also freely today. And if any other suggestion, you can give a suggestion.
Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
So, 50 doctors is a very strong, solid force. So, let me hear something from Muthumani. Who are all the doctors?
Muthumani, you are having already a host of anyhow, you need not read out all that. You are confident?
Allow him to answer, Rangaswamy.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, find out list of project for the Sky Yoga research.
Not the projects, 50 doctors whom you have contacted.
As you know, also.
Yes. Let everyone know.
Yes, I will. Mr. Satyidharan ayya.
Yes.
UK, Satyidharan. And I will share.
Okay, to save time,
Yeah.
you just pass on the information to me.
Yeah.
Yes, have it together. Right. Now, about the Kayakalpa exploration, which we are doing on Tuesdays here, and the bi-monthly Sunday program of the Vision Academy. Is it both same or different, or can it be consolidated? The doctors who have spoken there are Shanmugavel and Swatantra Devi and Dr. Ravindranath, who are already here doing the same job. So it may be a duplication of the work. So let me ask Dr. KP whether we should have two independent webinars or deliberations, or consolidate the same into one and proceed. This Dr. Perumal can, what is your view, Dr.
Sir, I am unable to get you, sir.
Okay, we can
Can you
discuss about
please
it.
again say what you mean by that?
See, we are having a Kayakalpa exploration program, research possibilities, potentials in Kayakalpa. In understanding the philosophy of Kayakalpa and the mechanism of Kayakalpa and the performance of Kayakalpa, teaching of Kayakalpa, so many things are there, and the impact of Kayakalpa on the individual and society. So many things are there. And we have been doing it for the last 3 months, and you are also doing the same thing. So, is it necessary to keep these two separately or consolidate to one?
Yeah, we can consolidate to one, but mainly I'm very much concentrating on the scholars. I want to give the topics to the scholars and make the scholars to work on it, and later on they should also complete the thesis within the stipulated time. They should submit the thesis. So in that way, I'm concentrating on that. But combinedly, we can do it. Nothing wrong in it. Nothing wrong in it. So we can use the experts from the different people. All the people are from our old community service center. They are much helpful there. Even we can combine that. But my aim is we can make the students to work on it. When we combine with the doctors can come and give the idea to them. But when the general public also, when they combine that, the students, if they lose interest, they may not be able to complete the thesis within stipulated time, and we may not be able to follow them in that way. That's why I'm keeping them separate, but nothing wrong in it. I'm ready to associate all the people along with this. Let's not have the two discussions separately. We can have a combined discussion. Nothing, we can have it, sir. No problem. No problem.
And the very idea of asking you to come today for the meeting is to take the projects which we develop here to the scholars, allotting a scholar for a particular thing.
Surely, sir, we will take all the topics you are giving here, because in the conscious 360, and you are concentrating on the different aspects, and you are bringing a lot of ideas from different corners. I think it's very nice. I am also enjoying that. But for myself, for the scholars, I want to concentrate on a particular topic. Now, my entire concentration is only on the Kayakalpa. So let us bring all the truths behind the Kayakalpa. Even we are conducting the webinars on alternate Sundays, first Sunday and the third Sunday. Even it may go for another 1 year or 2 years. So by which we want to bring all the details, we want to consolidate all the experts from different fields, and finally we should bring a book after 2 years or 3 years, which consists of 200 pages or 300 pages, which gives all the details. Anybody who reads that book, they should get all the details. So in that way, I'm planning for it, and we can coordinate, we can associate, and we can make it one also. Nothing wrong in it, sir.
Okay. Now, these meetings, you have visited us twice. So if it is going to be useful for the postgraduates and for the PhD scholars, they can all be asked to participate in this. We can give an invitation to all the scholars through you to them, so that they also come join. Is it okay?
Surely, sir, we will make them also to join this meeting. But for the university norms, they should attend a minimum period directly. For the that attendance should be submitted to the university. In that way, we are making that class. But no problem. We make them to attend all our seminars also. We will inform the scholars to attend the seminars, what you are organizing also.
So, That is the idea of including this as an activity of the PhD program, so that when they attend here, it amounts to that also. They get that attendance, study time included. This attendance
Surely, sir, we
is
will make
also
it, make no problem, sir. We will make it there.
right.
But now
Okay.
we have discussed and made the first
Only-
Sunday, third Sunday, 10 to 1. In that way, we have fixed that. And we will also discuss the timing also. We will make it was 1. No problem, sir. Surely we will have it.
Okay. That is a win-win situation. You are also benefited. This forum is also situated.
Yeah.
Benefited. So
mutually we
you
will be
like
benefited.
that. Yeah. Now we have scholars and participants who will raise their ideas. They will ventilate their ideas. Let me ask Dr. Dhanapati to give his observations about that. Dr. Dhanapati. Unmute. While he is coming, Dr. Karunakan.
Dr. Karuna here, sir. So I
Yes,
cannot
sir.
come in a video, so I'm coming only audio because I'm
Oh,
on
yes,
a journey. My background will be black. Even for a long time, I have been thinking of renaming the sexual vital fluid.
Yes.
In all the groups, whenever even Indian Medical Association, wherever we give the sexual health address where they wanted to address. So we changed because I thought we can rename it as. So we changed the name
Biovital
sexual
fluid.
health problems. We renamed that
Biovital fluid.
which is the same actually. So that is a better way of putting, because when we address the girls and the boys in the school or in the colleges, we find it very difficult. So this word had the same meaning, but we could convey the message without any hindrance and without any hesitancy. And so I think that is the one thing which we need to find, and we need to find an apt word, as he said, because what I think we need to make a lot of study about SVF, and then we'll come to a conclusion for that word, which has been running in the mind almost for 5-6 years, almost for a decade, I should say, once I joined for MA Yoga. I am also with Karthik with the same thought. And as Dr. Permal said, we have got a wide area and a plethora of informations where we all have to work upon. And I think present 1,000 papers, and we need to reach the entire universe. As Gupta ji is their main aim and goal of that. I think we all will work together and we'll achieve that.
Okay, thank you. Since Dr. Karuna has pulled Karthik, who is coming after a long time. Dr. Karthik, we have already discussed the naming of the SVF as whether it is a biovital fluid. We will decide on it. Excluding that, you give your ideas.
Well, sir, thank you so much for even including me in this forum. I've been here since the very first session, and we have been maturing the. But I'm not a doctor. You guys keep calling me as a doctor. I feel like I'm being given undue credits in first place. The kind of views what we are receiving in this forum, it's very specialized knowledge coming from expert physicians from the side. And we have seen it in a very broad sense, and have been very deep into Leviter. When from an engineering background, I can talk about Leviter, thanks to Sudhindra Devi madam and Shanmay Velu sir. Each muscle group was connecting there, and there has been. But I would say it's a blessing for me to know everything in that detail, and when I talk to others, I can say in that line. And I'm also inclined a little bit with Pirmal sir. Yes, we got this wide information, very wide view. Somewhere, some accountability has to be there. Like Gupta ji often used to say, something has to come out. And the way how KP Pirmal sir is saying, having, yeah, I think we are moving in the direction, consolidating everything and having it accounted and put it down together. I think that's a very good next step. 1,000 papers, 1,000 journals, more than that. I think we got to make a stronger impact. I wish we get something like getting into Nature Journal, that high quality journal. There, making it reaching to the attention of the elitist me, that should also be, we should keep this in mind. If you can please stop the recording for a second or a minute or two, sir. Muthamani sir. Muthamani sir. So during the COVID situation, I got COVID, my father got COVID, my wife, my mother, we all got COVID. Very interesting data is the CT value initially what we got. In my family, my father had only 20 initial score, whereas me and my mom, we got a 15 CT score. That means the virus was able to be identified much earlier. In my family, my mom, me, my wife, we all do Kalpam. My mom is very studious. And my father doesn't do Kalpam, or he doesn't believe in any of the Sky practices that effectively. So after 2 weeks, in the family, the chest X-rays, the chest CT scans showed that only for him, the amount of infection is much high. And after the 3rd day, my mother, who is also 64 or 65 years old, came out unscathingly, no issues. Right? And all of us, me, my father, my mother, we all have taken 1 dose of Covishield. Instead of taking the vaccine, I just had 3 doses of Dolo 650. That's it. No other medication. My mother, we didn't. We just took Fabiflu and ivermectin. That's it. And after the 2nd day, I mean, even during having high fever, she has been consistently doing exercise, our Mauritius exercise and Kaya Kalpam consistently. And on the 2nd day itself, she started working on. She did not see the severity that heavily. And the same case with my wife. She has not even taken the first vaccine, but she has been consistently practicing Kaya Kalpam and breathing practice, and there is no impact. So Perumal sir, since he asked about that information, I'm giving you this data just from my family. I'm sure if we collect this information specifically from most Sky practitioners, we would get it. But this, I agree. Ravi sir will say like, hey, this has to be more clinically collected. Yeah, but this is just one data information. I look forward to see more information about an accountable contribution towards the research. During your speech, you were saying that until 2012, MA Yoga in Human Excellence and PhD has to be done, and afterwards, you said something.
PhD in other faculty, in other field, in any field, PhD in any field, and master course in
Earlier, the university accepted that MA or MSc in Yoga for Human Excellence and PhD in any field, they are eligible to become guide. Now the university has strictly told that both should be in the same way. MA or MSc should be in Yoga for Human Excellence. PhD should be also Yoga for. Then only they will become eligible for guideship.
Oh, so for guideship, not that's for guiding. For guiding other PhD scholars.
Only for guides. That's all. Not for scholars. Scholars maybe. Scholars, anybody who completes MA or MSc Yoga, they can become scholars. Only for guides, the norms are there.
Got it. I was a little
Karthik,
curious to
very
understand,
good
like,
Okay.
suggestions you have given, Karthik. I'm happy that you have given some evidences from your family itself. Already, I am thinking of you. When I met you there in USA, you were telling about that the 20:2, 20 Asari
yes, sir.
Mudra and 2 Vojas birth. I think you were testing that. That was more effective. I am actually,
Yeah.
after that, I am advising that all my participants, everywhere when I go there, minimum you do that 20:2 in that way, I'm saying. I think you
I
collected some data there itself. Am I correct?
yes, sir. Yes, I shared
Yeah,
it
you keep
during
all
the
the.
forums here using the skin resistance.
Okay.
Uh,
We will use all the data also, because instead of doing the 10:1, if we go for 20:2, that affects more. Okay, that we will actually, I am conveying that message through all my classes, but with the evidence from you also, we can supplement it.
awesome.
And also what you said, that sexual vital fluid, bio vital fluid, I think that is found to be very nice. Instead
We
of,
will
I think you
talk
only
about.
suggested that.
So
Yes.
it's not just okay, don't come back to me and hit me. So saying that
No.
when
Okay.
we
First
To
alternative I
save
am hearing
time,
now. I am hearing alternative, but it appears to be very nice. And then we will think and
biovital
consolidate.
fluid,
So instead
yeah,
of saying,
please,
we have that trouble
so
when we are going to schools and colleges,
exactly.
having the word sexual. Instead of that, if it's a bio-vital fluid or some other name, vital fluid, we can give it. I think that will be more apt, more nice.
Dr. Perumal and the rest of the members, naming of the vital fluid, we will do it separately to save time. Let us not raise that point anymore here.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Now, is Dr. Dhanapati ready?
Dhanapati, you can unmute and come.
Okay. Hema Malini madam.
Varifalamudan, sir.
Yes, please.
Good evening, one and all. We feel that both the sessions are together. It will be easy for to be very healthy to improve the knowledge in the field of disease itself for the research.
Okay, thank you. Kamarai,
வாழ்க வளமுடன், sir.
yes.
Today I feel blessed to see all the senior professors together in the R&D department and Vision Research Academy. Our director, who is a meticulous person, who is doing a lot of motivation and inspiration to us to complete the research and also to produce good research papers in reputed journals. We are trying our level best. Actually, the thing is, we are already publishing in the norms which university UGC has put down. That is, we have to publish in UGC CARE journals and Scopus or Web of Science. We have already tried our level best and posted few papers in UGC CARE journals, but to go further for Scopus or Web of Science, we may need to improve. As everybody is on a thought, we have to improve our quality of writing the thesis and documenting all the data analysis properly. And sure, sir, in future, with all your expertise knowledge, we will be contributing our effort to do well in the research field. And thanks to all of you. Today we have Maharishi's blessing. I think we have seen collaborative efforts to improve the research division of our Sky Yoga. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For your information, I will be trying to bring in a person who is an expert in these publications. So who will help you to do it in index journals.
Sure, doctor. Thank you, doctor.
Okay,
It's
okay.
useful for all the scholars. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma.
Now, Dr. Dhanapati, are you ready?
He could not come.
Okay. Now it is 9:30. Let me answer some of the questions raised by Dr. Perumal. The
Okay. Yeah, please.
sexual vital fluid is one gray area in spiritual science. The
Arihalamdan, sir.
what have I done? You want to say something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually,
Please.
after coming to this forum, scholars will be enlightened to choose the best topics and the wanted topics, sir. So previously we were being confused with certain topics to be taken, but after coming to this forum, we got to know so many topics are still to be studied. So that's a great thing happening here, sir. We
Right.
are thanking all the doctors for this, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Varihalamade.
So the fundamentals of Vedadriyam, the philosophical roots of SVF, OJS, and the other things. The technology of Kayakalpa, how to do it, includes Ashwini Mudra and the number of times you should do, and the duration you give for the contraction of the Ashwini Mudra and relaxation of the Ashwini Mudra, all these things, and the counting number of times, what the mind is doing during the Ashwini Mudra, how to get more benefits by pulling in the mind into the performance of the Ashwini Mudra. Those things we have to do. The methodology of the performance of Kayakalpa. Why we have these postures, the significance of the postures and their relevance are to be studied. Whether any change that is being made, whether it has a real impact or a not giving the expected impact, these are all the things we have to see. And the clear understanding about the sexual vital fluid, I am using the old terminology, the vital fluid, and the sexual secretions, the semen and the ovum, and the other large number of glands associated with the sexual activity. So these two things, we have to understand the basics of the structure and constitution. Unfortunately, even the sperms we are not able to see. And when we talk about the OJS and the vital fluid, it is totally beyond the laboratory investigation, direct laboratory investigation. We can only infer it indirectly, as the vital fluid becomes a fluid that is has a form which is not permitting the direct observation or analysis. I feel, if I am permitted, I would say that it is an abstract energy form and it is not a physical form. which I can substantiate later. The benefits of Kayakalpa is another thing which we can see. And the subject of comparing the human vital fluid and the animal vital fluid is something which is very broad and requires a lot more establishment to study. And realization and Kayakalpa is again a bigger topic beyond the scope of the present listing. Our scope is that we are not able to study even the benefits of Sky Yoga during COVID situation. We have not done any real studies, as Karthik said. And, so many other questions we will discuss together, Dr. Perumal, and we will see that. And for the present, I will ask Dr. Indraji to give her observations.
Dr. Indra Gupta ji.
Yes.
Vijay Gupta, come on. Yes, yes, welcome. Welcome back.
Okay. As we are, I don't know,
Running
Vijay.
short of time.
Okay. As we are fighting for the time, I would say that COVID is not going to go away for some time. So if we connect COVID and Kayakal and do some research in a maybe like what Karthik is saying, how it is connected to immunity, because COVID is directly connected to immunity, building up your immunity. So when you do Kayakal, what happens to the immunity? And if that is connected with even small study, people are looking for solutions, immediate solutions. And I think that Swamiji always said Kayakalp is the key to immunity, the sexual vital fluid, mind. It has all the elements that can answer some of the things that we have been discussing last 2 hours. So let us connect immunity, COVID, and Kayakalp. That is one point. Second point, I'm saying that self-motivation to do things for the masters, professors, trustees, practitioners will come with facing your own mortality. And that is COVID is doing all over the world. So if we emphasize that we are going to go someday anyway, so why not go with the information, the knowledge, the wisdom that Siddhas have left? It is all process in the mind to understand and process it, this information, and that is the healing point that happens. So that also Kayakalp is connected to, because it elevates your consciousness, the biomagnetism at a very, very finest, unmeasurable ways. And I think that that is my thing. The third thing is, let us write a monograph for Kayakalp and sexual vital fluid and COVID. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Does that make
Thank you, Amma.
sense?
Very good. Excellent. Excellent session.
Consolidated.
Yeah. Absolutely need of the hour, ma.
Very good,
Yes.
madam. Very
Thank
good,
you.
madam. Very good suggestion, madam. Welcome, madam.
Thank you.
Sir, we need
Dr.
more data. We need more data on this relationship. I just collected data with
No.
4 people within my family. Please let's not come to conclusions much earlier.
Mr. Karthik, it has been the impression, idea of all the practitioners, but unfortunately not recorded. So, as Indraji suggested, it is not too late to start, as COVID is going to continue for a long time. So we can study even now and show the impact of sky practices in with versus COVID, sky versus COVID, we can say. And
Okay.
the ideas are invited. Yes.
டாக்டர் ஐயா சுந்தரா தேவி மேடம் பேசணுன்றாங்க.
கொடுங்க.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Madam, yes.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். வாங்க வாங்க.
Today, Dr. Perumal's speech was very touching. He has done mind-boggling work for Manavalakalai and Kai Kalpam. So I am very happy to associate it with Dr. Abhindranath and Dr. Perumal and this team. And Dr. Perumal has raised some pertinent questions which is in the minds of so many people. Of course, Dr. Abhindranath has explained some parts of it, but still I would like Dr. Perumal to circulate these questions to everyone in the group and get a written explanation or their own interpretation of these answers. And then we'll try to see if they can come to a middle ground. And then the other thing is to evolve the projects. Dr. Abhindranath has already asked me to do that, and I'm in the course of doing it, basing on what this group has, the doctors who have met this group, they have suggested. So we are evolving the projects, but we have to evolve the parameters also. Like Dr. Karthik said, we have to go to the good journals, means we have to have very good parameters and do it. The subjective, objective, biochemical, hormonal, and scan, ECG, etc. Like the study PCOD we have done, the Shanti has done is very good study. But what we have to do is the scan reports in every month or every 2 months, the ovarian volume, ovarian size, the length, width, and what about the antral follicles, number of antral follicles, the largest follicle. So these are only reported in the other scientific things about the allopathic doctors. So like that, we have to go into the detail of those practices, just the anthropometric parameters like BMI, weight, height, chest circumference, waist. I know other things are difficult and expensive, but then only when we do that, we will get into quality journals, that I have to say. And as Dr. Karthik said, the corona thing, we missed a little chance, but still, as Dr. Indraji said, we have time. Maybe we should do something about it. And then this about that corona, I want to say something like Karthik, he said his experience. We can ask every mandram to ask their people who are regular members who do practice. Those who do regularly, those who don't do regularly. Those who do regularly, how many of them got it? And then those who don't do, or in the ordinary population, how many got? Or even if they got, the severity of the symptoms. So like that, we can ask each mandram to give 2 or 3 people of corona. Then we'll have a large database for those things. That's what I feel. So that is one thing. And then the other thing is, today I've got some good pictures I got. I just want to show you. So just will take 2 minutes. Dr. Muthamani can show the picture. It's a very nice thing, exactly explaining what is happening in Swamiji's Kaya Kalpa. I got it accidentally today in this thing. So this is the picture. He says, in ordinary man, what happens is this thing, Can you see? Can you make
Can you
it
enlarge?
bigger? Can you enlarge it?
Muthumani, enlarge.
கொஞ்சம்
Yeah, click on
maximize.
presence. Yeah.
Yes.
See, this is what actually I've been saying, that it's the Bindu, the Amrit comes from Brindu and then comes and gets exhausted by the Manipur chakra or the ejaculation of the semen, and it is wasted. That is in the normal person. That is the picture on the left. So causing decline, aging and death. Whereas in the yogi and with Kaya Kalpa, so this is what happens. The Bindu is preserved in the head and gives long life, because the Kechari Mudra stops the Bindu from dripping into the system. And then Bindu four-step Sushumna Nadi by other mudras like Ashwini Mudra and Mula Bandha. So this is one thing. Next picture. Next picture, please.
Next, yeah.
So this is what he says in Amrita is stuck in the head. And Kundalini is dormant in the Mooladhara chakra because Sushumna Nadi is blocked. So that is where we said Ashwini Mudra and the sympathetic parasympathetic or Ida Pingala balance opens the Kundalini. That is Mooladharathu Moondalu Kanalai. Kalal Edupum. So this is close. So the Kundalini in Hatha Yogi and late Kundalini model, what happens is that opens and then the energy goes up. That is the Kundalini energy, the green snake. It goes up to the brain. And then the Kechari Mudra unblocks so that it doesn't get wasted, but it becomes an energy and goes into the whole body. So this is the exact picture of what Swamiji has been saying. And I thought it's very impressive. So I thought I'll show it to you. The next picture.
Very nice.
This is the electromagnetic waves of the body and the polarity. This one I haven't gotten into it. This may explain why the different postures, like why we keep the head, hand up and this thing and all that. Maybe we have to go deep into this thing. So because electromagnetism is what Swamiji talks about all the time. So I got this picture. The next slide. So the energy field exactly again. So these and this thing I haven't gone into the details. Next slide. So this energy flow is there. That is the sacred day. Earth is there and the divine energy from the Sahasra and how it gets redistributed into the body. So these are very good pictures. So I thought I'll send it to you, doctors, and then we'll think about it, go deep into it later on. So,
Thank you, doctor. In fact, we have some of these slides I have seen with Dr. Streeter, who came here and conducted a 3-day conference. He came from UK. He is a specialist in biofield science. He has given some of these things are with me. I will send it to you. Okay. I will send the whole picture. I mean, whole 1 hour or 1.5 hours seminar data about the biofield science, which also shows the same, some of the same slides were shown by him. Wherever you have taken, it is the same. Plus, I want to give one more information to our scholars and participants.
The volume is not very good, sir. We can't hear you properly.
1 second, How is it now?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
During, before this pandemic, we have been visiting Nimans. There is a Dr. T.N. Satya Prabha, MD, professor and head of Department of Neurophysiology. She is in charge of autonomic lab in Nimans. She offered to guide our scholars to make their journals, publications at international level. She can be called upon to guide how to make the abstracts, how to improve the language, as Tamaraselvi has mentioned about it. Then I immediately pulled out the card and I have seen that we can seek some help. She is specially advising the scholars how to write the reports. So these reports should be of the international standards. Thereupon, we can also ask Dr. Indra and also our Vijay Gupta ji because they are from Colorado University, they have been publishing papers in ancient science journals. So we can definitely pull upon our resources and make the scholars to write beautiful reports. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Rangaswamy, I think we
Yes,
can
sir.
wind up the session now.
Oh, thanks a lot. And there are about 20 of them. So instead of reading all their names, and especially I must thank our Dr. Perumalaya for enlightening us and giving a entire picture of the entire program, scholars programs and all that. We will take all the suggestions we have noted down and we will implement them. And we want to thank all the participants and doctors who have given us wonderful suggestions for improving the scope of these scholars who are all, getting guided by one or two of these guides. Now they have got a team of doctors, team of scientists to help them out. And I wish all of them a great success. Thank you once again, all of you. And good night to everyone. And good day to our American friends. Thank you. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Be
வாழ்க
blessed.
வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க
Thank you.
வளமுடன், வாழ்க வையகம். Thank you.
வாழ்க
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.
We don't want to leave.
Of course, our Muttumani, I know that this is